Welcome to Investing in the Now with Jordan Kimmel. And as a special guest, we have Mariette Pan, part of our dream team. And Mariette, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jordan, for having me here.
Well, Marietta, let's just get started because we met just only a few months ago and immediately connected. You shared your background, you shared where you were, and you shared where you are now. So let me just share for the crowd. You are what is called the creatrix. You're authoring books, manifesting passion, purpose. I've been on your website with watercolors and all kinds of things. Maybe you can describe for me a little bit more about what you do and who you are, and then we'll actually get into where you are.
Okay, well, let's see. Who I am is a creatrix. I find creativity in all things around us, nature, even dead earthworms. Get back to that someday. And I just see joy and creativity all around me, even in a leaf, just the natural creativeness. So I've authored 2 books, one called Gratitude Rocks, Manifesting Passion, Purpose, Prosperity, One Heart at a Time, and a Color Me Powerful Spiritual Animal coloring book with lots of sacred geometry and symbols because I love color and design. So my life is all about color, design, sharing that, seeing the passion and the joy all around us and being in the now.
Marietta, I've read both books and enjoyed it and saw that you were actually, like I am, very into quotes to kind of sum up and share things. And kind of before we actually share really greatly where you are and what you're doing right now, let's share the fact that we are now part of a really elite and wonderful team that's creating a new book, bringing out the whole concept of all the passion, all what you're doing, all what I've done, and investing in the now. And I am just so excited to be working with you and the team. And let's share right now, frankly, where you are and what you're doing, because that is just really exciting.
Okay, well, thank you for having me as part of the team. I really love connecting with you in instant bond, and it's so cool to be in a foreign country right now and be able to talk to you. So I'm currently in Costa Rica at the Gayatri Festival, which is hosted by Deva Premal and Miten. And Deva Premal is the world-class musician who pretty much introduced Sanskrit mantras to the mainstream. So it is really cool being in her presence and just sitting within feet of her as she's sharing. And they are so in the now. She and her husband, like, they'll be playing music and stop and go, oh, that's the wrong key, or that's not working. And they just smile and they don't care that 80 plus people are watching them. They're just so connected and so accepting. And it is so wonderful to be in this festival. And we are in what you call it, Blue Spirit Retreat Center or Resort, and it's the southern end of Costa Rica. And you might see a howler monkey go by or hear noises because there's lots of birds and monkeys all around. It's an incredible place.
And I've only been myself there. I have been there, but not at a spiritual retreat like this. And I know from speaking with you recently how excited you were to be there. And I've asked you since we started working on the book because I was moved by your books, frankly, moved by the way you think. And I've asked you to come on the podcast before, and you said no, no, no. But now you finally agreed. And tell me, what's the change of mind? What's the change of thought? It's great to have you here. What got you here?
And so I was not in the now. I was worrying. I was not sleeping at night. And I said, I can't be talking about investing in the now. I'm not in the now. And
Mm.
so I have the tools and the techniques. And the cool thing about knowing them is it just takes me less time to get back into my now. So some of that was accepting that I'm not in the now and being okay with it, not going, what's wrong with me? I thought I was over this worrying about the future or living in the past business.
Right. Well, Marietta, let's be fair, not only to you and our listeners, but we're living in some times where lots of people aren't sleeping. There's a lot of
Mhm.
chaos. I tell my relationships, most important thing I could say is stay off page one. why you stay in the now. And
Mhm.
it's only been a few months, but you have entrusted me to some of your assets. And I think the goal is to make the ride smoother, and to put it here in the now. But so let's talk really about you though, because we're going to bring this book together from four really powerful people. And everyone looks at things a little differently. Everyone has their own way of thinking, which is why I'm really so excited about the book. Tell me your favorite ways of getting into the now, because really that's the most important thing we can offer people.
Thank you. Partially what I said before, I just love nature, and also just changing your environment changes your mindset. So something I learned recently is called a pattern reset. So if I'm like stuck in a problem or worrying about something, take a walk outside, go stare at something. If you can't go outside, look at a picture. I mean, flowers, leaves, clouds, everything. You can just do a little brief breathing, settle into the space, just look at a flower petal. I mean, just anything that is away from what you were looking at just changes your mind and really helps you reset so that you can be back in your center, in your powerful self. And that now that really calls to you, not in the tomorrow and the what am I doing? Oh my God mode that
Right.
I
What have I
have been
been? What
known
have
to
I
get in.
done? Right. Well, you know what? I've always heard, I haven't had the chance yet, but people said if you get out on a glacier somewhere, you're reminded of literally how small we are, how big the universe is. And, you can get that feeling sometimes when you really just get a blanket at night and see 1,000 stars.
Mhm.
Sometimes we just make too much of what's going on, and not just being able to really relax. And I know one of the things that happens for you, when you get in the now, when you relax, is somehow you see hearts everywhere you
I
go,
do. I do.
right?
I wrote the book about gratitude rocks. It was a natural process that morphed out of learning about gratitude rocks in the Secret documentary. And so I said, I want to manifest some rocks that are under $1 I can give away and show people when they hold it, they're reminded of what they're grateful for and bring them in the present moment. And so that morphed into a practice where I see hearts in dead earthworms. And instead of going, oh, it's a dead earthworm, I go, wow, that's a sign of love. I'm connected. I'm in the moment. And at one point, I was on a meetup and everyone's hiking down this trail, and half the group was looking for a scat in the shape of a heart. And that's poo, by the way. So it
Right.
was kind of cool to
That's
have
another
all these
word.
meetup people
Okay.
looking. Yeah, yeah. Scat is a more polite term. So I love seeing hearts everywhere, and part of it is you walk around one direction, you see it in a different perspective. It taught me not to go, oh, black and white. This is what it is. It's not. It's never exactly the first thing you think it is. And also not to judge things like looking at scat instead of going, oh, I got to avoid that, or poor earthworm is dead. I go, look at that. It's the shape of a heart and it's meant to be a message to me. And I feel good. It's a positive affirmation. It's a sign. So,
Well,
and the
you
book is
know,
called Gratitude Rocks. So it's all about gratitude too.
Right, and rocks. And
Yeah.
what we know is when you walk outside, if you ever are lucky enough to have your car just smattered with bird poop, it's a lucky day. And so,
Mhm.
it's how you look at it. And also, I can't say I'm a philosopher. I can't even
Mhm.
say it, right? But the point is when you do open your heart,
Mhm.
and you're willing to look at things with an open heart, a lot of times that open heart comes right back to you. So, one thing I want to share is that, um, we could write books, we could talk about being in the now. It's difficult. We're all just human beings, and
Mhm.
sometimes you get thrown off, and sometimes you need a way to get back. And so I want you to share like an example of getting in the now, why you feel that being in the now is so important to you.
Let's see. So a way I share. Okay. You said a way I get into the now.
Yeah, the way, sometimes again, we all get off center.
Mhm.
Some people have a way of breathing, some people
Ah.
have a way of there's maybe a mantra they have, maybe they
Mhm.
change the scenery, like you said.
Mhm.
But talk about maybe instead, how being in the now, how getting out of the past and worrying about the future, how being in the now has really led you to the journey that we just came on about writing a book, Investing in the
Mhm.
Now.
Okay. Well, being in the now is just being reclaiming my true nature and not all the limiting beliefs, the parents, the societies that you should do this. Like, oh, okay. And all of that sunk into my subconscious. And now that I'm older and wiser, I have the awareness. And that's number one, is having the awareness that this is not me. This is just old programming. This is the past. And I don't need to address the past as in like living the past. Go, oh, you told me I'm ugly, so I'm going to be ugly. My nickname was Ugly Duckhead in Chinese. They called me that till like age 5 or 6. I answered it. And so I walked around going, I'm an ugly duckhead. And so, that might have sunk into my psyche and impacted when somebody gives me a compliment rather than go, thank you. I'd go, oh no, that's just, something that discounts the gift they just gave me in a compliment. So being in the now removes all those past things and those voices in your head that are limiting who I am and having me play small, and really just being your truth is so more powerful, so much connecting. People can relate to you, understand you, respect you, want to be around you because your vibes are high. You're in the now, you're present. They can see it and they want that too. And they feel more present with you there.
Well, let me just say this, Marietta, is that, we're not going to hog more time for you while you're in paradise, while you're in this retreat. One of the things we promise our readers and our listeners and all the people that will be
Mhm.
visiting us investing in the now are going to get treated to you periodically. We'll
Oh,
also
really?
get treated to all of our team. And I can't wait until the rest of our teammates surface and come on the podcast. And it's just a treat having you. It's a treat working with you. And I can't wait to share with the public investing in the now as soon as it comes out. So enjoy the rest of your trip. It's really been a delight having you. And anything else you want to just share on the way out?
I would love to share one more thing. Um, One of the ways I've been learning to invest more in the now is to know when to ask for help. For example, on the first day I was here, I had these flip flops and I had glued them because they were my favorite flip flops and they were coming apart. And I thought, this is going to hold. First day, they started splitting. So these are the only ones I brought. So I'm asking everybody, do you have glue? And they're going, no, we don't have glue. So I ran into Deva Premal, world famous, musician, the host of this retreat. And she goes, oh, I might have some in my home, but ask around. If you can't find it, get back to me. So I got back to her, said, I really can't find glue. So she said, okay. She wrote into her phone, said, I will remember, I would look for it. At dinner, she found me. She said, I'm so sorry, I couldn't find any glue, but I found double-sided tape. I said, okay. She said, I'll still go to the store if you want the glue. I'm like, all right, if you could look, that would be great. So I stick the double-sided tape, it sticks and it's holding up for the whole week. And now I can say David Premal saved my soul. And she was there. I mean, actually, and now when I walk every step, I'm in gratitude going, I am present because I was able to ask for help. And that brought me in the present moment. I was no longer worried about my flip flop blowing off or splitting in half. And so, in similar ways, in having you handle my IRA fund and just letting that go of control and, just going, wow, I trust Jordan. Jordan's got the value engine and it's now up 9%, which is amazing in this world. And so it's wonderful to know when to ask for support and just be in the now and trust that it's all happening behind you. Once I let go of all the worry, things just happen. I've been at this retreat, everything's working. I even have people on single sites favoriting me. This hasn't happened in a long time.
You just made me take a big deep breath and stay in the now, be in the now. It's great working with you and it's great seeing you. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you. You too. Enjoy your week and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. It's Jordan Kimmel with Mariette Pan, investing in the now and staying in the now.